Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Carol_Sweets, also known as Tulu. Thank you very much for watching my previous video. I got feedback. Very sad, and a lot of people relate. The mother wound is, I think we're very open and loud about saying we have daddy. I hope this is not much of a bloop about saying that we have daddy issues, right? But how often do we talk about mommy issues? Not a lot. We don't talk about our mommy issues a lot. We don't talk about mothers that ill treat kids. Sorry, I hope you can. We don't talk much about mothers that mistreat their children, or mothers that are abusive to their children. And the reality is, it's there, and our mommy issues affect us more than, I think, more than daddy issues, right? So like I said in my last video, that I'm gonna talk to my mom about it. All right. In your healing journey, rather in my healing journey, in your healing journey, if you choose to, if and only if you do, if you want to, right? If and only if you want to, you can go to the people that you have had these encounters with, right? Because like anything in life, unfortunately, the things that we experience are due to other people's behaviors, right? And then the way that we react to the other person's behavior is what informs our trauma. All right. So if you want to, you can talk to the person that you feel has affected you, or has touched you, or has messed messed up your psyche, So back to the video. I spoke with my mother this long weekend. It was beautiful. I had a very beautiful long weekend. I was home. It was raining all weekend. We were in blankets and tracksuits and big socks and slippers all 4 days, right? So if you can, you should speak to, be it your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, your teacher, talk to them and be like, hey, so this and this happened, and this is how it made me feel. Let me see if this thing is a bit and be like, so this and this happened on so and so day, and this is how I felt about it, and this is how I viewed it from my point of view, and this is how it made me feel. And I haven't been able to, maybe you haven't been able to let it go, or maybe you have, you just wanted to let them know, and then like you can move on, closure sort of. You can, if you want to. As much as people reacted the way that they reacted in our lives, unfortunately nobody owes you an apology, and sometimes you're not gonna get the apology. You still have to be willing to forgive that person, because you forgiving them is you letting go of that thing in your life. So not everybody's gonna be open to listening to how it made you feel. Not everybody's gonna be willing to listen and change. Some people will listen and they won't acknowledge, right? Some people will listen and invalidate. Some people will listen and dismiss. Some people will listen and not change. Like they'll just be like, oh, okay, that's just the way I am. That's right. So it is quite a hard thing to say, to ask. It's a hard thing to ask of you to go to the person that hurt you and confront them and be like, hey, so this and this happened and this is how I feel about it, right? Not an easy thing to do. If you can, just get it out of the way. Not for them, for you, right? Cool. So I spoke with mother. Spoke with mother. I was like, mom, you and I have had a lot of conversation about dad and whatever and your marriage and things like that and our upbringing. But I just recently realized, or actually, you and I, when I was a child, did not have a relationship. You were not present in my life. And I feel like because of that, that is why I go about life the way I go about it. And that is why I feel a certain way about things. It is because of the abandonment that I felt when I was a child. Yes, you were there physically. You did everything that a mother could, like the bare minimum, the basics. You have eaten, you're dressed, you have a roof over your head. But emotionally, you were not there. You did not have the capacity to listen to me when I had grievances. You did not have the capacity to do anything about those grievances. Therefore, it means that now I must internalize everything. So you grow up and you realize, well, I don't wanna be the bigger person anymore. I'm the bigger person, guys. You grow up and you realize you don't want to be the bigger person anymore, and then you realize that the whole time when you were the bigger person in your life, you didn't have to be. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the darnest thing happened. Like, who would have thunk it? Yesterday I was recording. You'll see in the video that I'm wearing a black and white dress with a shirt that was shot yesterday. So I'm shooting today because there are part of that video that surprisingly vanished, right? So some of my content vanished, so I'm just gonna re-record that bit that got vanished. I don't know what happened to it. So yeah, here goes. So like I was saying in the previous video, that I had a conversation with mother and I told her how I felt most of my childhood and how that is now affecting me in my adulthood, right? Just to find out where she is when it comes to that matter. Like how does she feel about what I'm saying, and if she sees it the way I see it, or just for her to be able to tell me things from her side of the lens, and what she was going through at the time, right? So spoke to her. I was like, hey, so this is how I felt when I was growing up. Such and such happened, and just your reaction to everything, you were very absent, you're not present. Like, she was like a shell of herself, and then she was like, you know what, I fully understand what you're saying. I hear you, and you're right. I was not okay. She was like, I was not okay. I was not okay from the moment my parents died. So what happened was, her parents died 1 year after another, right? So 2 consecutive years, 2 funerals in a space of 2 years, in a very short period of time. She was 14 when dad died and 15 when mom died. And she says that she feels like she never dealt with that. So it was from their deaths, everything for her was her survival mode kicked in. Her, okay, both my providers are gone. I need now to fend for myself. I need to fend for myself. She probably didn't know what to do, how to do that with no guidance. And so from that day onwards till today, she has been living on survival mode. And her exact words were, "Ne ke gafa." That's what she said. She said, "Hore." She looked back and she was crazy. Like, she was crazy. She was a robot. You know how you program a robot? You program a robot. Hore, the kids must eat, they must dress, they must go to school, they must be warm. That's all that matters. You must go to work, come back, clean the house, eat, sleep, repeat. No, hi Tsolo, how are you? How was school today? I noticed this and this happened between you and dad. And how did it make you feel? What do you think about the situation? None of that. Just eat, bath, go to work, come back, repeat. The kids, they've eaten, they're dressed, they're at school. Survival mode. And I spoke to her. I was like, I get that, and I'm glad that she was able to validate me. And I told her that, we're grown now. All her kids are grown now, and it's time for her to look at herself, to sit with herself, sit with her grief, sit with her loss, and work through it. No matter what it looks like for her, whether she wants to go to therapy or whether she just wants to grieve the loss of her, because nobody's looking at her now to be like, "Mom, I need this." Well, to an extent, we can survive on our own. She needs time to just do it for her. I told her we're grown now and you deserve to be happy. You deserve to live your life for yourself, because we're also now living our lives for ourselves. So yeah, I'm very glad we had that heart to heart. I'm very glad we had that heart to heart. And I wanted to ask her, like, now to this day, when you're sitting and looking back, do you feel or think, "Hore, it was worth it"? Like, according to you, when you said in your mind, "Okay, Anna, this is how we're gonna get through this." Now that you have gone through it and it's done, are you happy? Is this what you wanted? Are you reaping the seeds that you have sown? So she clearly didn't have the capacity. She didn't have the capacity. She could not give me something that she doesn't have. That's what I said to her. I was like, it would be unfair for me to expect you to give me, or to have given me, something that you yourself did not have. And I think my trauma haunting me at the age that it haunted me, knew I was ready. I was ready to have this conversation, and I am not having this conversation with my mother as a victim and as her being the perpetrator. It's a conversation of two traumatized children, actually. Just a conversation between two traumatized children to say, hey, with no judgment whatsoever, to say, hey, I see how you could have, I see how you couldn't be there for me. I see it in me now as a mother. And so yes, that's what mom said. I fully understand my mom. Like I said in the last video, hooray. I approach this with so much grace, because I understand fully her reasons. I understand. Do I recommend it? No. I don't recommend it because somehow it gives off it's giving things will never get better, or it's giving take it or leave it. It's giving like it's just limiting. It's just limiting to be in a situation and feel like there's nothing I can do. And I'm not gonna say she should have, could have, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's giving hopelessness. And here's her fellow, here's her hope right here. But yeah, re hodile re bakana. And I actually don't know, I actually should have asked her, right? Do you look at us and think and feel it was worth it? Like, if you died today, would you be like, yeah, izinyembezi zam aziwelanga phansi? Whatever it is that I sought to endure has bred its fruits. Should have asked her, but I didn't. I'm only thinking about it now. So yeah, I'm glad we had that conversation, because in me healing, I get to allow her to heal. I get to allow her to say, I understand that you did the best that you could at the time. I understand that you thought you are doing the best for us and for yourself to a certain extent. I fully understand. But you deserve a life of your own as well. I understand that you were living for us. I understand that you were living for survival, but you deserve to be happy now, because we all grown, and you deserve happiness, whatever that might look like for you. You deserve happiness. And yeah, that's it on my mother wound. I'm so glad that I get to heal through actively having the love and validation that I grew up longing for. And it might not be like that for other people, and I don't want you to be discouraged by the fact that maybe your mom is a narcissist, right? I don't want you to be discouraged by that, but I do urge you to just look into it. I do urge you to try and have the conversation, try to understand where they come from, their standpoint on the matter. So if you're a parent now and you're in a toxic relationship, if you're a parent now and you're in an abusive relationship, if you're a parent now and you are unhappy in your relationship, don't endure the abuse, the toxicity. Don't stay in that relationship that you are unhappy in for the child. Your child will know that you're not happy. They will know. You will give it off. And even if you say, I am not happy in this relationship, but I'm happy with myself and I'm happy with my kids and I will raise my kids, you are indirectly sending a message to your kids that the devil is better than the devil you don't know, and you are saying to the kids that there's a limit to what God can do for you in your life. You are saying to your kid there is no need to hope. You're saying to your kid it doesn't get better than this. And I don't think that is a great gift to give your child. I don't think it's a good thing to live our lives unhappy just so our kids can survive. I think our kids deserve to know that their happiness matters. Like, as long as you're happy is a real thing. As long as you're happy is a real thing. If you're gonna stay in a marriage because batho ba tla reng, as long as you're happy, like as long as you're happy and healthy and fulfilled, that's what matters. Because half of those people aren't happy either. Half of those people are not happy either. That's why they care that you have given up whatever society has burdened you with to keep them from talking. Nah, but they're not happy. And what you do or do not do in your life does nothing for them. What they say or don't say about you does nothing for you. But you staying in that toxic marriage, you staying in that toxic relationship, you staying in an unhappy environment, that does a lot for your child. A lot of damage that they have to now grow up and unlearn. So don't do it. Like, don't do it. Like, Dilo, I know I've never been in a situation where I felt trapped. Like, every decision that I've ever taken, yes, it was not taken at the time. Looking back, it was not taken from a point of knowing my worth and knowing that there is better, you know. But I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I feel like I'm just trapped. I would say that all the decisions that I've ever made have always been conscious. Obviously, to the level of consciousness that I had at the time, right? Which was, we do it a little bit longer, and then maybe things will be different. How many little longers? I'm also not saying you give up at the first sign of trouble or at the first sign of struggle. However, I am saying we can give things a chance until you can see that it's not happening, until we can fully accept the situation for what it is, which is the situation is not changing. Yes, try your best, try your all, try by all means to make it work, right? This is not for when your partner is abusive, guys, or when your partner is a serial cheater. No, that is not the one, right? This is for when you can see, well, like there's something there, right? And I know there's a thin line between this is not gonna get better and, but you know, it's giving, we're trying, you know, it's giving, we're trying. There's that, and then there's just manipulation where a person changes for a week or for a month, and then as soon as you're settled, they go straight back to the person that they were a month ago. There's that, and then there's consistent small little consistent steps that are going in the right direction, and it is no longer me trying to fix the same thing that we fixed a month ago. It's now trying to fix something else, you know. So yeah, we did this, this was right, tick tick tick, but there's this also, you know, there's that, there's those, there's always gonna be those in long-term relationships, in long-term friendships. There's always gonna be those, because as people we're growing. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anybody that can sit here and say, so I have a book or I have a page with all the do's and don'ts, right? Because some things we have just never experienced, and you will know when it happens to you. No, you know, only then will you be, then your body will tell you, it will react, and you will have to sit down and say, okay, what am I feeling? What is that? What is my anger trying to tell me? Or I feel violated. Why do I feel violated? You know, then you can then tell that person, or hey, you said this the other day, or you did this the other day, and I don't like the way that it made me feel. Because that's the thing is, it's not necessarily what other people do that is the problem. The problem is how it makes me feel. It's not what you did, it's how it made me feel. So what you did can be done by somebody else, and it won't make me feel somehow. Or it can be done to somebody else and it won't make me feel somehow. But then when it's done to me, it does something to me because of something in my subconscious, or because a boundary has been crossed that you yourself also did not know about. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope this video gives you the courage to go and face your mother, depending on the kind of person she is. Like I said, sometimes we know how things are going to turn out. Like, you know exactly how things are going to turn out. Do you know whether pizza, or whether they're going to shut the door in your face, or whether they're going to scream their lungs out? Do we know? And those are the relationships that we can take a step back from and be like, okay, nalwena, we have a relationship until this point. Other than that, it gets tricky, right? Hence, I'm not safe to tell you how I feel. I can't tell you my point of view. So what I will do is I will keep quiet and work on myself alone. So yeah, all the best, guys. I hope it does something for you. For me, like, I'm not gonna lie, for me it was a big deal to know Hare. It's not that you were too sensitive. It's not that you were too sensitive. It's not that you were too sensitive. Your mother, I don't want to say was supposed to, or she should have, you know, but yeah, she could have done better. She could have stood up for me. Even if she didn't stand up for me, maybe she could have just listened and said, I hear you and your feelings are valid. She could have done that, you know. So now where am I now? I feel like I can do anything because I know my mom's got me. I know now that I can do anything. I can be anything. I can, hey, yeah. I know now. The validation that I was seeking from people, the love that I was seeking from people that did not have the capacity, which I'm grateful to still have those people in my life. You know, my expectations were very high, and I still have those people in my life. But to know that my mom's got me, that has done so much for me. That has done so much for me. So yeah, here's to more healing. See you on my next video, guys. Good night.